Well, let me show you what I'm fixing, tell you a little bit about it, and then let you know a safety hazard to be aware of on all tractors. First of all, that's my little step that was about right there and allowed me to step up into this tractor. This is a Kubota M6800. It's about a 68, 70 horsepower, four-wheel drive, big, pretty good sized tractor, but the step, that first step, is about 3 feet. So it has a step up right there, a little step. So you step, step. I'll tell you about the safety in a minute. Critical, very critical. It was a recall, and I did not take mine in for a recall. But anyway, since I got the recall, and the recall was on that step, every time I step up, every time I step down, I think about it, that the step has broken off before, apparently, because that was the recall. So anyway, I stepped off the tractor the other day, stepped off on the step, and it just went straight to the ground, broke off. So getting the studs out, the broken bolts out was real easy. Bolt there, bolt there, and was real easy. Thankfully it didn't break off flush, and I didn't have to use it easy. They just unscrewed right out. So it broke off right at the head of the bolt. So I went down and bought some bolts. These are obviously, it's a Kubota, so they're metric. I just took the bolt down, or the remains of the bolt, the little stud, down there to my local Ace Hardware, and he had some metric stuff. So let's put this thing on, and then I'm going to tell you about a safety feature, or a safety factor, that you really need to be aware of. I'm not sure there's any way I can do this without getting in the way of the shot. Let me try to get this in there, hold it in, and bolt it in. There you go. Better than I thought it would be. But for this one, I had to get a little wrench. It is tight. I could probably undo that cable there. I'm not even sure where that goes. I guess I should know that, but I don't. But I'll just have to do it like this. I asked the guy about the bolts, how, if they were hard, or he said they were a good grade bolt. So this one I'll do with the socket. Do not want to break it off in there. That would not be fun getting it out. So that's fixing it. Now let me tell you about the safety issue of this tractor, or any tractor, especially any tractor of size that has a step on it. So the safety issue, they did not elaborate when the recall came out. First of all, they said don't ever let anybody ride on this, on the step, and go down the field, go down the road, whatever. And then they had a recall. So I would imagine what happened was, just like with me, it broke off and someone got run over, because you are right at that back tire. If you're moving this way and you fall off, you are right there. So I bet that's what happened, and there was a lawsuit, liability, something. Somebody got hurt. So my safety tip is this: don't ever let anyone ride on a step such as this, a step up. Don't ever let anybody ride on the platform that you are not absolutely sure they have, you're in control of them, especially if it's a child or something like that, and they start squirming around. That's just a good way for an accident to happen. That is not something you want on a big tractor. This tractor weighs about, without the loader on it, weighs 5,000 pounds. With the loader, 6. With the mower on the back, 7. So man, you just don't want that kind of weight running over anybody. So farming is one of the most deadliest professions, and one of the reasons is tractors and tractor implements. So never let anyone ride on a step like that, or even right here, unless you know that you have got a hold of them, like got a grip on them like you won't believe. And it's just absolutely necessary. And I'd set somebody in my lap. I'd do something before I'd let somebody ride here, and never ride there. So that's my safety tip. Somebody obviously got hurt, and these do break off. Now this is a Kubota, and that's the way they do it, is to bolt it in there like that. I don't know how other companies, Deere and other companies, put their steps on, the ones that have steps. I would say, you would almost have to say they would be bolted on and not welded on, because there are times when you need to get in here and you'd have to take that off to do that. So I bet they're all bolted on. Now what the remedy was with Kubota, I don't know. Like I said, I did not take it in. Now if it ever goes in, I will tell them about it and see what they do. It's probably either they just replace that with some hardened bolts, some better bolts, or perhaps they put some kind of a strap here or something like that to keep it from falling. I don't know what they did. It would be interesting to know. But anyway, safety feature right there. Do not stand or let anyone else stand on that while the tractor is moving. That is for stepping up and stepping down into and off of your tractor. It is not for riding along. Please, please, please don't do that. That could get somebody, I'm sure did get somebody hurt, and has over the years. And that's why the recall. Anyway, just replaced it. I'm happy to do that. I'm getting too dadgum old to step up 3 feet into my tractor. And so that it was only 2 or 3 days, but I had to go find some metric bolts. Not just everybody sells metric bolts. So got her fixed. I got 2 bolts. I bought 2 long ones, 2 short ones. The short ones didn't go in quite as far as the originals did, but it was far enough. It was about a 1/2 inch probably. So I would imagine that's plenty far. It's got the lock washers on it. Hopefully it'll work. But I will always, when I step off and step onto that tractor, I will always, in the back of my mind, have the fact that it could break. Be careful, be careful, be careful around tractors, farm equipment. There's so many ways to get hurt, and do not do that. I need you around, okay? There are people that care for you. Don't get hurt. All right, we're gone.